are listening to the Better Me podcast. Before we get into today's episode, wish you all a fantabulous day ahead. In today's episode, we are going to be speaking about 12 habits of highly productive people. People who are really very productive have the same amount of 24 hours that each and every one of us have. But the habits that they follow and how effectively they utilize their 24 hours is what determines how productive and efficient a person is. So, here are 12 habits of highly productive people. To start with, the first one is they review what worked, which means there are multiple ways of achieving a particular job or a task, but not all the possible ways give the same amount or the same result. Some might be really very effective compared to others, but how do we get to know which is the best suitable or possible method of doing a job? Only when we review what actually worked for us, which method is the best for us, or which has already given us the possible best result. Only then we will be able to find out the best, easiest, and most effective and efficient possible way to accomplish any task or work. And even if it does not, or even if it doesn't give you the required or the expected outcome, reviewing what you have done or the method that you have followed will help you to find a way that you can eliminate in future. So, the first habit is to review what actually worked for you in the past so that you can have it as a template or as a blueprint and follow it for other jobs and tasks at hand. The next one is to recognize what didn't work. Just like what I had said before, finding out what worked and analyzing it and documenting it or having it as a blueprint or a template is one of the habits. The other habit is to recognize what didn't work. When you find out what didn't work, you would be able to eliminate that going forward in your life or trying the same kind of mistake again, which in turn would save you a lot of time and energy. And you will be much closer to attaining what you want because you won't be wasting time getting or not getting the proper result because you know what to eliminate. The next one is people who are really very efficient and productive, they plan. Yes, planning is a very, very essential and vital part of being productive because only when you plan, you will know how to spend your energy and time efficiently. If you don't have a plan, you will not know where to focus or which task to prioritize. Unless and until you have a solid plan in place, it would consume a lot of your energy and time. So, planning is a habit that one must for sure develop to be more productive. The next habit that highly productive people have is they anticipate obstacles and come up with solutions. Normally, what happens is when people do something or when they are into some kind of a task, when they confront a problem, they come up with solutions. And at that time, when you are confronted with a problem, what happens is you would be under mental stress and you wouldn't have enough time to think. So all these constraints will act upon you and make you really very stressed, which in turn will affect your output or your solution that you might be thinking about. If you want a perfect solution that is 100% error-free and effective, what you have to do is You have to anticipate what are the possible obstacles or hindrances that you might face in the task that you're taking up. This kind of a habit will in turn help you to come up with solutions which might be very easy to apply at the time of problem or when you confront the problem, where you don't have to stress yourself or think at that time. Instead, you already have the solution because you have anticipated it and you have figured out what the possible solution could be for the problem. You just have to apply it. So, having or anticipating what obstacles could come up and finding out a solution would be one of the habits that one needs to develop to be productive. The next one is those who are highly productive, they write things down. Yes, this might sound silly, but the fact is, only when you write it down, you will have a clear idea or a clear picture of what exactly is going on. Let it be a problem or a plan or even just the thoughts that you have about something. It's better to write it down because most of us have this idea of figuring things out in our head because we feel that we aren't children to write things down. But the fact is, only when you write it down, when you see it through your eyes, you will be able to get a clear picture of what exactly is the scenario, and you would be able to bring out the best possible solution to any problem that you face. The next one is highly productive people, they prioritize. Yes, only when you prioritize what is more important, you would be able to spend the energy and time required for it effectively. If you want to be efficient and effective, you need to prioritize. It's as simple as that. And they also do one thing at a time. They don't multitask. Multitasking might seem like a best possible solution because you are going to be taking up so many things at a time and going to be working on so many things, thinking that you would complete all of the things that you've taken up. But the fact is, that is not the case. That is not the scenario. Because when you multitask, you don't focus on any particular thing properly and you don't give it the best of yourself to do whatever you are doing. And finally, you end up not completing everything because when you multitask, your focus is distracted. So try to take up one thing at a time. And they set boundaries. Highly productive people know where to set boundaries because they know what they are capable of doing and how much they can take in. They don't stress too much. They know their boundaries. And it is a best practice to set boundaries because when you push yourself too much, you just do not strain yourself, but the outcome that you try to produce will also be affected because of it. So, know your boundaries and try to set boundaries. They also automate and delegate because not everything that you do requires you to do it. There are a lot of things which can be delegated and automated. You don't have to spend all your energy sitting up and doing it all by yourself. So, know where to delegate and what to delegate. The next habit that highly productive people have is they ask important questions. Yes, they know something is important and they know how to tackle it. And they know all these things only because they ask those important questions. They try to question everything. Then, whenever they feel that something is important, they don't just ask random, unnecessary, irrelevant questions, but only those questions which are important, which are going to help in the growth of whatever they are doing, or which are going to help them to get the best output or the result They ask such questions and they get the answers. And those answers in turn are going to help them to get the best possible result. They develop keystone habits. Keystone habits are small changes or habits that people introduced into their routines that unintentionally carry over into other aspects of their life. Actually, keystone habits create a domino effect that change every area of your life. A solid example could be to exercise. Exercising is a keystone habit which, even without your knowledge, actually has a tremendous impact on your life. Your health improves, your mood improves, your physical appearance improves, and you will be able to feel much relieved from stress because you exercise and it produces hormones which will make you feel really cool. So, such kind of habits are called keystone habits, and highly productive people develop such keystone habits. And last but not the least is they commit to continuous improvement. Yes, they do not stop once they achieve what they want. They try to improve themselves continuously. Because only when you try to learn everything that's around you continuously, you'll be able to improve yourself and grow. And only when you grow, you would be able to compete in this ever growing world. And just by trying to continuously improve yourself, you will be able to tackle and handle everything perfectly. And you will be able to be productive. So these are the 12 habits of highly productive people that every one of us must try to develop and inculcate in our life to lead that perfect, beautiful, and fantabulous life